Hello, and welcome back, my friends, to my music pod up in my attic. I really appreciate you coming back, and your patience while I sort of get the technical aspects and the personality aspects of this together. I'm going to try and move a little bit quicker. And after looking online to a number of different videos, and there's a lot of great stuff, like on YouTube, of course, and talking with some friends, one big thing I noticed is how people edit their videos now. The cuts, just to make things move fast, are just real quick, abrupt cuts and moving on. So edits will look like this moving forward. Alrighty. All I want to talk about today is the Jazz Ride Cymbal pattern. It's probably one of the most important things in playing jazz. It helps drive the music. It helps the phrasing of the music, the feel, everything, and works very closely with what the bass player is playing, which is usually a walking bass line of some kind, right? And it also ties in with the technique and how we hold the sticks and all that stuff that I talked about in my first video. The sound you want to get out of that ride cymbal is dependent on how free-flowing your stick is, how you hold it, the fulcrum, all that stuff we talked about last time, or I talked about last time. Hopefully you were here. You were here. The ride cymbal pattern is very simple. Ding, ding, a ding, ding, a ding. 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1. And you can hear people talking about swing eighth notes, straight eighth notes, all that stuff. So I'll talk about it briefly. We interpret a jazz swing eighth note as the first and third partial of a triplet. Triplet's 3 notes, 3 evenly spaced notes on a downbeat. Triplet, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a first, second, and third partial are the 3 notes. We're playing the first and the third note on beat 2 and beat 4. So the basic pattern is 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1. Now how we phrase that and how we play it in time determines our sound. All the great players had kind of a slightly different ride cymbal sound. Max Roach, Philly Joe Jones, Elvin Jones, Tony Williams, Jack DeJohnette, Joey Barron, Paul Motion. I can name all my heroes. Hoops McGillicuddy. No such man. Or maybe there is. Part of what I tell my students, besides how we hold the sticks and all that, kind of determining your sound, whether it's legato, staccato, and it all is up to how you hear the music. As long as you have the intent, if you intend to play it a very staccato sound, and that's what your hand is doing, and that's how you hear it, awesome. The basic ride pattern is always keep your hand in motion in the triplet, so it never stops. Not 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1. See there, I'm stopping the sound on 1 and 3. For one thing, that often ends up accenting those downbeats, beat 1 and beat 3, and that's not really where the emphasis is. Now, I'm not going to say accent 2 and 4 because I think that gets strange results. I would say the emphasis is on 2 and 4, and even the 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3 is sort of the volume of the whole phrase. 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3, ka-ta-ta-ka-ta-ba-ka-tu, Scooby-Doo-Doo-ga-Doo-Ba-ga-Doo-Bum. Scooby-Doo-Ba-ga-Doo-Bum is a very important phrase. Learn it. So keep your hand in motion. In that triplet motion, I like to practice really slowly. This is when I think about more like an Elvin Jones kind of sound. Triplet, taka-tu, baka-tu, ta-pa-ta-ta-pa-ta-ta, 4, a 1. Why is it we just make baby sounds? Baka-tu, buka-tu, bika-tu. That's all right. We're just big babies. I think of myself as a chimp. Smart chimp. Well, not that smart. Smarter than some chimps. Enough chimp talk. Taka-tu, baka-tu, taka-tu, taka-tu, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, a 3. I'm going to add the hi-hat. That's what I'm talking about. On 2 and 4. Baka-tu, taka-tu, ta. So hopefully my hand was in motion that whole time. I never stopped the stick. I didn't act on the stick where I didn't let it bounce naturally. I'm not thinking about accenting. It's pretty subtle. Da ka da ka da 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 ba bum 2 3. I'm not accenting anything, but I have a little emphasis on 2 4 I also want to emphasize that this is the basic pattern. We can definitely mix it up. Sometimes I'll even just be playing quarter notes. A lot of times I'm just playing quarter notes, but you can still kind of hear the triplet subdivisions, how we cut up each beat to make it play better in space-time continuum, number one. Even if I'm just playing quarter notes. Da, 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 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. I still have that same kind of motion. Just a few more thoughts. One is practicing with a metronome, of course. A way to practice with the metronome is have them all on quarter notes. Metronome's going quarter notes. Click, click, click. Or just have it on 2 and 4. Or just have it on beat 1. Another thing I really like is to have one bar on. Click, 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 click. Whole bar of silence, still in time. Then the click comes back. Bam. And just keeping simple time with that is not so simple. And I think that helps develop our internal time. Playing with a metronome or a click track is really important. Developing your own sense of internal time is really important. So that when the click track isn't happening, you can be loose in your time, but still have that underpinning inside of where the quarter note should be. And I think that working with a metronome, a bar on, a bar of silence, bar on, 2 bars of silence, woo! Then your heart really starts to palpitate by that second bar. Where is it? Another big thing is I think it's great to practice along with records. With the great drummers, awesome. There's another way to do it, but there are many recordings where it's like trio stuff or duo stuff. Jim Hall has a bunch of stuff, and he's just one of my favorite guitar players of all time, and his triplet feel and just overall sense of time is so happening. So to practice along with that stuff, I think he has some records probably from the early 60s with Bob Brookmeyer. You can find him online. Anyways, that Jim Hall stuff. Later he has a couple of records, I think, with Ron Carter, just duo. Maybe Charlie Hayden. So playing along with that and kind of being able to be the drummer with Jim Hall. Woohoo! Pretty neat. Trying to match his sense of swing feel or that swing eighth note. Okay, one last thought. And then you can go. Playing this swing pattern, the faster we get, I think, the straighter the eighth notes get. So if I start out thinking Elvin Jones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, as I get faster, it's going to get closer to straight eighth notes. Whoa, I played a snare drum and a bass drum. So those are some quick thoughts, hopefully quick enough. Thanks again so much. I'm going to try and keep doing this and work on getting tighter. Toit. Keep it toit like a toiga. And getting better. I've been doing it over 40 years. And I think I'm still at least working on getting better. Okay. Thanks again. Have a great day. Take care. See you next time.